Hey guys! So we're going to be talking today about triads and chords and inversion. These are some of the notes that you will need to take as a grade due this Friday. So the title of your notes this week are called Triads and Chords and Inversion. Triads, remember, are three notes played together at the same time. Chords are anything more than three notes. So there are three positions or inversions that we're going to talk about today. Root position. In root position, this is where the lowest note of the chord is the root. And the root of the chord. Root position, when the root of the chord is the lowest note. There are two different versions of root position. You can have root, third, fifth, or you can have root, fifth, third. The notes above don't really matter. The note that really matters to classify the inversion is the lowest note. So as long as the root is the lowest note, you're fine. The intervals from root to third are going to be a third. The interval from the root to the fifth is a fifth. But this doesn't tell you what kind of third or what kind of fifth. So this still exists in major chords, minor chords, augmented chords, and diminished chords. The quality of the root, third, or fifth will determine major, minor, augmented, or diminished. Which part of the chord is the lowest will determine what inversion. On this side, the interval from the root to the fifth is still a fifth. The interval from the root to the third is still a third. The next one is first inversion. When the third of the chord is the lowest note. So here, the third of the chord is the lowest note, and the notes above don't really matter what order they're in. In this case, you have a third, the root, and the fifth. On the other side, you have a third, the fifth, and the root. The interval from your third to your root is going to be a sixth. The interval from your third to a fifth is still going to be a third. Again, this does not tell you the quality of your triad. This only tells you what inversion it's in. On the other side, third to fifth is still a third. Third to root is still a sixth. The last inversion for today is called second inversion. When the fifth of the chord is the lowest note. The fifth to the root is a fourth. Fifth to third is a sixth. And same on the other side. Fifth to third is a sixth. Fifth to root is a fourth. So either look at the notes on Canvas and copy them down, or copy them down as we were going through this. I'll give you about a minute. This is also where you could pause the video. Alrighty, so let's start taking a look at some chords. If we were to have this triad, D, F sharp, and A, we would need to first identify the triad. What kind of triad is it? So we built the major scale and we identify the intervals. And because triads only go up to 5, I'm not going to build scale degrees 6, 7, or 8. My diatonic intervals are perfect unison, major second, major third, perfect fourth, perfect fifth. So from D to F sharp, I have a major third, because that's in the scale. From D to A, I have a perfect fifth. That's also in the scale. Because I have a major third and a perfect fifth, I know that this is a D major triad. Now we have to figure out what inversion it's in. The root is the lowest note in this triad. Therefore, it's in root position. For root position, you can also check it by looking at the formulas we just drew in our notes. Root to third is a third. Root to fifth is a fifth. Therefore, we know that this triad is in root position. When you notate root position, the formal way to write it out would be the kind of triad, capital D, because it's a D, because D is the root, and it's major, so it's going to be a capitalized letter with nothing else. 5/3 is going to tell us that this is a D major triad in root position. But you don't actually need to write 5/3. Simply writing the chord root and quality with no numbers implies that it's in root position. So let's take a look at another one. Here we have 3 notes. We need to identify the root, what kind of triad it is, and what kind of inversion it's in. So we're going to build the A-flat major scale. Actually, you know what? It might even be smarter to figure out what inversion it's in, because that will tell us what the root is. Because we're mixing up where the root is, the keynote is no longer only the lowest note. So let's look at our formulas. The distance from A flat to E flat, A flat, B flat, C, D flat, E flat. That's some sort of fifth. A flat to C, A flat, B flat, C is a third. So looking at your notes for triads and chords and inversion, I have something with a fifth and a third. This tells me that we are in root position. It also tells me that this note is the root. Remember how we had two different versions of root position? This one is root fifth third. It's because this note to this note is a fifth, therefore this is the fifth. This note to this note is a third, therefore this is our third. So now we're going to build this note, the root, that major scale. Diatonic intervals. E flat matches here. It's a diatonic interval, therefore this is a perfect fifth. C natural is also diatonic. It's a major third. This triad has a major third and a perfect fifth, which tells me this is an A flat major triad. And because we're in root position, A flat is the root. So we're going to write it like this. You can either write A flat 5/3 or just write A flat. But remember, it has to be capitalized because this is a major triad. So let's do two more. Here we have D sharp, B, and G. So we're going to figure out what inversion we're in so we can figure out what the root is. D to B. D, E, F, G, A, B. That's some kind of sixth. D to G. D, E, F, G is a fourth. You notice when I was doing this, I wasn't really building the major scale, and I didn't even count the sharp. All I had to do was figure out the letters, because this doesn't tell me major minor sixth. This doesn't tell me perfect augmented or diminished fourth, it just tells me fourth. Because from this, a sixth and a fourth, I can tell that I am in second inversion, which means this low note here, D sharp, is my fifth. The fifth to your third is going to be a sixth. So this middle note is my third. Which means this has to be my root. So I'm going to build the roots major scale. Diatonic intervals. G to B, that is a, G to B is a major third. G to D sharp is a half step higher than D natural, so this is an augmented fifth. A major third and an augmented fifth gives me an augmented triad. The root is the name of the triad. So this is G augmented. Remember, an augmented triad is capital letter with a plus. And then, because it's in second inversion, remember the fifth is the lowest note. Fifth on the bottom means a second inversion. Here is your symbol. 6/4. Second inversions don't have a shortcut. Remember, root position, you can just write the name of the triad with 5/3, or you can just write the name of the triad. Second inversion, you have to write 6/4. So this is a G augmented triad in second inversion. One more. Here in this triad, we have F, A flat, and D. So we're going to look at the intervals, just the number, to figure out what inversion we are in. F to A, F, G, A, some sort of third. F to D, F, G, A, B, C, D, some kind of sixth. A third and a sixth tells me we are in first inversion. First inversion means the lowest note is my third. This means that this is my fifth. And the sixth here tells me that this is actually my root. So we're going to build the roots major scale. Diatonic intervals. So the interval from D to F natural, the closest thing I have is an F sharp. And I know if I go a half step down to F natural, that makes this a half step down from major, which is a minor third. I don't have A flat in my major scale either. So I know that A flat is a half step lower than what I actually have in the scale A natural. So if I lower this from perfect down to diminished fifth, I get to A down to A flat. So since I have a minor third and a diminished fifth, I know that I have a diminished triad, and the root of this triad is D. So to write a diminished triad, it's a lowercase letter and a circle. And since I already said that we are in first inversion, here's how you write it. You can either write 6/3 or you can just write 6. But remember, you still have to have the root's name, which is the letter, and then the quality. In this case, diminished is lowercase with a circle. So just in case I didn't go over this, this is how you write out the names of triads, chords, and inversions. We're going to use A flat as an example. So the top part of this talks about the 4 basic triads. If I wanted to write A flat major triad, I would just write capital A flat. If I wanted an A flat minor triad, I would write lowercase a flat. For an A flat augmented triad, capital A flat with a plus. A flat diminished triad, I would have A flat lowercase with a small circle. For root position, I would write 5/3 or nothing. First inversion, I would write 6/3 or just 6. Second inversion has to be 6/4. So good luck with inversions and triads this week. Let me know if you have any questions.